Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, October 4th, 2024. Big show today. NFL, college football, MLB playoffs, WNBA playoffs, golf, NASCAR, news and notes, and best bet and Fab 5 at the end of the show. All right, we'll start the NFL. Thursday night football. It was a good one, to say the least, as the Falcons come back and beat the Bucs 36-30 in overtime on a game-winning touchdown, 45-yarder from Kirk Cousins to Kadarius Hodge, as Atlanta improves to 3-2 and Tampa drops to 3-2. So, great game, fun, competitive, and a much better game than I thought it was going to be. So, now I'll move on to Sunday. 9:30 a.m. NFL Network. Jets-Vikings. From London. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. My line for this game is Vikings by 4, total 39 and 3/20. And it is 2.5 and 40.5. I'm going to do a slight lay with the Vikings. I'm surprised at how low that line is. Next, 1 o'clock on CBS, Ravens-Bengals. My line is Cincinnati only by a half, total of 50. And it's Ravens by 2.5, total of 48.5. I'm going to take Cincinnati plus a 2.5 and plus 118 to win the game outright. Next up on CBS, Colts-Jaguars. My line is Colts by 2, total 42 and 9/20. And it's Jaguars by 2.5, total 46.5. So the choice is the under or Indy. So I'm going to go with Indy plus the 2.5 and plus 126 outright, only because the Jags are winless and they're actually favored. On Fox, Dolphins, Patriots, I have New England. Yes, New England by 5.5, total 35 and 19/20. And it's 1.5 and 36.5. I'm laying it with New England. I can't believe I'm laying it with arguably the worst team in the league. But I got to do it. I know Tyler Huntley's at quarterback now, but he did not look good against Tennessee. Excuse me. Did not look good against Tennessee, so I'm laying that 1.5 with New England. Next up on Fox, Browns Commanders. My line is the Commanders by 11.5, total 47 and the 20th, and it is 3 and 43.5. You guys know where I'm going. I'm laying that 3 with Washington. CBS, Bills Texans. I have Texans 2.5, total 47 and 3/10. And it's Bills 1.5, total 47.5. I don't think the right team's favored. Give me Houston plus 1.5 and minus 104 to win the game straight up. All right, 4 o'clock window now. On Fox, you have the Raiders at the Broncos. I don't know why that's on Fox. It's across network. I have Broncos by 3.5, total 36 and 11/20, and it is Denver by 2.5, total 35.5. That's a hard one, but I'm going to go with the slight over. Also on Fox, Cardinals, 49ers. Minus the 49ers by 4.5, total 48 and 2/5, and it is 7.5 and 49.5. I like the Cardinals getting the 7, the hook, only because of the 49ers injury situation. On CBS, Packers, Rams. I have Packers 1.5, total 47 and 19/20, and it's 3 and 48.5. Slight lead Rams. Next up on CBS is Giants, Seahawks. I don't know why that's on CBS, but that should be on Fox, and the other game, the Raider game, should be on CBS, but it is what it is. I have Seahawks 8.5, total 41 and 2/5, and it's 6.5 and 43.5. I'm going to, I have a 2-point edge on Seattle, and I have a little over edge on the under. So I'm actually going to take the under. I thought I was going to be on Seattle in this spot. And last but not least, Sunday Night Football, 8:20 NBC. Cowboys Steelers from Pittsburgh. Went Steelers by 6 till 41 and a fifth. And it's 1.5 and 43.5. I adore the Steelers. That is probably one of my favorite picks I'm going to give out all season long, considering the situation the Cowboys are dealing with defensively right now. So I'm going to lay the 1.5 with the Pittsburgh Steelers over Big D. All right, now we'll move on to college football. With 2 games yesterday, we'll go over the results and then look ahead to the weekend coming up, which should be a lot of fun. Texas State over Troy, 38-17. Sam Houston over UTEP, 41-21. 4 games tonight. That's a lot for a Friday. 7 o'clock on CBS Sports Network, Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State. My line is Jacksonville State by 9.5, total 54 and a fifth. And it is 16.5 and 48.5. I'm going to take Kennesaw State plus the points. 7:30 on ESPN, Houston, TCU. My line is TCU by 19, total 50 and 2/5. And it's 16.5 and 50.5. I'm going to lay the points with TCU. 9 o'clock on Fox, Michigan State, number 6, Oregon. I have Oregon by 18, total 47 and 4/5. And it's 23.5 and 52.5. That's a little bit of a tough one. I have a 5.5 point edge on Michigan State, and I have a 4.5-ish on the under. So I'm going to take Michigan State and the points. Last but not least, on Fox Sports 1, Syracuse and number 25, UNLV. I have Syracuse by 7.5, total 57 and 7/10. And it's UNLV by 6.5, total 56.5. When's this turmoil going to get to UNLV? I'm taking Syracuse plus the points and plus 190 to win the game straight up. All right, Saturday, 12 o'clock on Fox, UCLA at number 7, Penn State. Big noon kickoffs there. I have Penn State 22.5, total 46 and 7/10. And it is Penn State 27.5, total 46.5. I'm going to take the Bruins getting the points. On ABC, number 9, Missouri, number 25, Texas A&M. I have A&M by 4, total 47 3/4. And it is 2.5 and 48.5. Slightly in Texas A&M. Vegas knows, I think, in that one. ESPN SMU, number 22, Louisville. I have Louisville by 2, total 60 and 11/20. And it's 6.5 and 56.5. 2.5 point edge on SMU. Or 4.5 point edge on SMU. And I have a larger edge on the over, so I'm going to take the over. Big Ten Network, Purdue, Wisconsin. I have Wisconsin 4.5, total 51 and 11/20. And it is 13.5 and 44.5. That's way too high. I'm taking Purdue in the points. CBS Sports Network, Massachusetts, Northern Illinois. I have Northern by 18, total 47 and 4/5. And it's 17.5 and 44.5. I like the over. ACC Network, BC and Virginia. I have BC by 2, total 49 and 7/10. And it is Virginia 1.5, total 52.5. Under. Pitt, Carolina on ESPN 2. Mine's Pick'em at 68. And it is Pitt 2.5, total 64.5. Over. Wake, NC State on the CW. I have NC State by 12, total 61 and a 20th, and it's 4.5 and 53.5. So 8.5 on the over. 7.5 on NC State. I like the over. Navy Air Force, CBS. My line is Navy 12.5, total 51 and 13/20. And it's 9.5 and 36.5. Oh, over. I know the service games usually go under, but that's going over. ESPNU, Army, Tulsa. I have Army by 10, total 54 and 3/5. And it's 11.5 and 15.5 over. Tulane, UAB at 1 o'clock. My line is Tulane by 8, total 55 and 3/20. And it is 16.5 and 55.5. That's high. I'm taking the UAB in the points. Western Michigan, Ball State at 2. My line is Western by 11, total 64 and 3/10. And it's 9.5 and 56.5. Over. Iowa, number 3, Ohio State on CBS at 3:30. Mine's Ohio State by 9.5, total 50 and 7/10. And it's 18.5 and 45.5. I'm going to take Iowa getting the big number. On ABC at 3:30 is Auburn at number 5, Georgia. Mine's Georgia by 12, total 49 and 9/10. And it is 22.5 and 51.5. I'm going to take Auburn in the points. ESPN, number 12, Ole Miss at South Carolina. I have Ole Miss by 10, total 53 and 11/20. And it's 9.5 and 53.5. Oh, that's probably one of the closest projections I've had all season. Slight lean Ole Miss. You won't see that in Fab 5. Big Ten Network, number 23, Indiana, Northwestern. I have Indiana by 4, total 47 and 9/20. And it's 13.5 and 41.5. I'm taking Northwestern in the points. Temple, UConn, CBS Sports Network. I have UConn 15, total 57 and 4/5. And it's 16.5 and 49.5 over. Virginia Tech, Stanford on the ACC Network. I have Tech by 12, total 54 and 11 or 3/4. And it is 8.5 and 49.5. Over. App State, Marshall. I have App State by 1, total 54 and 19/20. And it's Marshall 3.5, total 58.5. Ooh. So I have a 4.5 point edge on App State. And I have less than that on the under, so I'm going to take App State plus the points and plus 126 outright. Miami of Ohio, Toledo. I have Toledo by 2, total 45 and 3/20. And it's 6.5 and 43.5. I'm going to take Miami of Ohio in the points. Bowling Green, Akron. I have Bowling Green by 2, total 55. And it is 15.5 and 50.5. I'm going to take Akron in the points. East Carolina, Charlotte on ESPNU. My line is ECU by 3, total 48 and 3/10. And it's 8.5 and 46.5. I'm going to take Charlotte and the points. Rutgers, Nebraska. I have Nebraska by 2, total 47 and 3/20. And it's Nebraska 6.5, total 40.5. I'm going to take the over. West Virginia, Oklahoma State on ESPN2 at 4 o'clock. By the way, Rutgers, Nebraska is Fox Sports 1. I have Oklahoma State by 6, total 59 and 7/20. And it is 3.5 and 64.5. I'm going to take the the under. Going under in a Big 12 game is weird. 4:15 SEC Network, number 1 Alabama at Vandy. I have Bama by 18, total 61 and 3/20. And it is 22.5 and 53.5. Over. 6:30 on the CW of Colorado State, Oregon State. I have Oregon State by 11.5, total 48 and the 20th, and it's 11.5 and 47.5. Very close. Slight over. 7 o'clock on ESPN, number 15 Clemson at Florida State. I have Pick'em and 53 and 4/5. And it is 14.5 and 46.5. I can't believe how many points they're getting. I got to take the Noles plus the 14.5. They're plus 480 outright, by the way. Fox Sports 2, Utah State, number 21, Boise State. I have Boise by 18, total of 67 and 4/5. And it's 26.5 and 65.5. I'm taking Utah State in the points. Old Dominion, Coastal Carolina. I have Coastal by 12, total 55 and 7/10, and it's 5.5 and 52.5. I'm laying to a Coastal Carolina. That's low. South Alabama, Arkansas State. I have Arkansas State by 6, total 62 and 3/5. And South Alabama by 2.5, total 61.5. I think South Alabama's living off that App State Thursday night game for a little bit, so I'm taking Arkansas State plus the points and plus 125 to win. ESPNU, James Madison, UL Monroe. I have JMU by 15.5, total 50.5. And it's 15.5 and 48.5 over. Louisiana, Southern Miss. I have Louisiana by 18, total 55 and 9/10. And it's 16.5 and 57.5. Again, another close one. 1.5 on Louisiana. All right, under. Slight under. 7:30 ABC, number 4 Tennessee at Arkansas. I have Tennessee by 4, total 58.5. And it's 13.5 and 57.5. I'm taking Arkansas getting the points. On NBC and Peacock, number 10 Michigan at Washington. I have Michigan by 5, total 41 and 9/10. And it's Washington 1.5, total 41.5. The disrespect for the reigning champs. And I understand it's a revenge game. Granted, the board's not there anymore, and a lot of those other guys aren't there anymore. But I'm taking Michigan plus 1.5 and at even money to win. Big Ten Network, number 11 USC at Minnesota. I have USC by 2, total 46 and 7/20, and it is 8.5 and 49.5. Oh, I'm taking Minnesota in the points. Minnesota's going to be amped for this one, you would think. On Fox, Baylor, number 16 Iowa State. I have Iowa State by 18, total 42 and 3/5. And it is 12.5 and 45.5. I'm laying the 12.5 with the Cyclones. Next up is Nevada, San Jose State on True TV. I have San Jose State by 9, total 53.25. And it's 6.5 and 51.5. I'm laying the points. SEC Network 7:45, UCF, Florida. I have UCF by 11.5, total 61 and 7/10. And UCF's giving 2.5, total 62.5. I'm laying it with UCF, bounce back spot. Everyone's going to pick Florida. 8 o'clock on the ACC Network, Duke, Georgia Tech. I have Duke by 1, total 49 and 1/5. And it's Georgia Tech by 8.5, total 53.5. I'm taking Duke plus the 8.5 and plus 265 outright. That's crazy. I don't get Georgia Tech and the hype. Everybody's excited because they beat Florida State in week 1, who sucks. Whoop-de-doo. ESPN 2, Kansas, Arizona State. I have Kansas by 6. Total 53 and 3/10. And it's Arizona State by 2.5, total 50.5. Kansas has been so disappointing, though. I'm going to back him again, try it one more time, or give him out one more time. Plus 2.5 and plus 114 outright. Next is CBS Sports Network, Hawaii, San Diego State. I have Hawaii by 7.5, total 41 and 3/20, and it's San Diego State 2.5, total 48.5. I'm taking Hawaii in the points and plus 108 to win. 10:30 ESPN, number 8 Miami at Cal, so it's kind of a old Pac-12 after dark kind of situation. I have Miami by 12, total 50 and 1/10, and it is 10.5 and 53.5. I'm taking the under. And last but not least, 11 o'clock on Fox, Texas Tech, Arizona. I have Zona by 2, total 63 and 2/5, and it's 6.5 and 64.5. I'm taking Texas Tech getting the 6.5. Now move on to the Major League Baseball playoffs. One awesome game last night. And then I'll make the picks for the League Division Series and picks for the games tomorrow as well. Look at the Sunday too. All right. Last night, Mets over the Brewers 4-2 as they win the best of 3. They'll move on to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. So the Brewers, this was 0-0 until the bottom of the 7th. Back-to-back homers by Jake Bauers and Sal Frelick. You'd think, oh, the Brewers have this. It's 2-0. So, fast forward to the top of the 9th. Devin Williams on the bump. One of the better closers in the game. Not so fast. That's why you can't trust a closer in the postseason. I don't care who you are, other than Mariano Rivera. That was the only closer I trusted in a big spot in the playoffs. So top of the ninth, go-ahead 3-run homer. Pete Alonso, probably the biggest hit of his career, makes it 3-2 Mets. And then they get a tack-on run. RBI single by Starling Marte makes it 4-2, and the Mets get it done. Edwin Diaz actually pitched in the 7th and the 8th. David Peterson got the save out of the bullpen, which is crazy. Jose Quintana was good. 6 innings, 4 hits, and no one runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. And then the guy that gave up the 2 homers out of the bullpen was Jose Budo, who actually was pretty good in the regular season this year. He only got 1 out, and he stunk. And then Edwin Diaz walked 2 guys, but he struck out 3. David Peterson walked a guy and gave up a hit, but he got a double play ball to end the game. And then on the flip side for Milwaukee, Tobias Myers did a really good job. 5 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. And then Trevor McGill went an inning. And then Nick Mears went an inning. Freddie Peralta went an inning. And then Devin Williams comes in for the save. He was amazing. People are saying they should have kept Peralta in. I disagree. Devin Williams is one of the better closers in baseball. 1.25 ERA. So I think Pat Murphy's getting too much criticism. Your all-star closer just had 1 bad game at the worst time. So Devin Williams rightfully took the blame for that. 3 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. And then Joe Ross got the last out of the 9th. And then the Mets get it done. So, the series, we'll start in the National League action. We'll start with Mets-Phils. I'm excited for this. So, best player in the series, Bryce Harper. That guy is just tailor-made for October. He gets so many big hits, and he loves these moments. There's a couple honorable mentions, including Francisco Lindor, who's been in so many big games in his life, especially with the Guardians. Best pitcher, Zach Wheeler. Also pitching against his former team, so that's exciting. Managerial edge, I'd give to Rob Thompson. He's taken his team to the World Series, so he gets the edge over Carlos Mendoza, who's done a really good job for the Mets in year 1 and should be the National League Manager of the Year for getting this Mets team to the playoffs. Story of the series, I'm going to say the big story of the series is, can the Cinderella ride continue for the Mets? I know that was my big storyline in the last round, but it's still the same. It's a much harder opponent, division opponent who you went 6-7 against them, which isn't bad, because I thought the Phillies were the best team in baseball this season, so not bad. Prediction for the series. This is a tough one. I thought long and hard about picking the Mets. I might actually pick the Mets, on a, not outright in the series, but maybe I'll do a Mets plus 1.5 games kind of thing. So the Phillies are minus 188. The Mets are plus 158. So series correct score. I'm Philadelphia 3-2. That's 3-1, and that is the favorite outcome, as well as Phillies 3-1. So I'm going to Phillies 3-2 at 3-1. And then the other series is fantastic too. In the National League, the National League series are better than the American League series. It's quite honestly not close. And this is arguably the best series, Padres-Dodgers. Obviously, 2 division teams as well. Best player in the series, you're stupid if you don't say Shohei Ohtani. He's been arguably the best player in baseball this season, certainly the best offensive player in baseball. And he's just so freaking good, day in and day out. Best pitcher in the series. That's a hard one. But I got to be honest. I think it's Michael King of the Padres. He got to start in Game 1 against the Braves, and he's probably going to start in this series as well. And I know they start Saturday. Michael King will probably pitch on Sunday for San Diego. Managerial edge, I have to say Mike Schilt. Arguably for this year, and arguably for the series, considering Dave Roberts' shaky playoff history. I know Dave Roberts is a bigger name, but you could argue Mike Schilt has a managerial edge here. Storyline of the series. Will the Dodgers finally, with their rock star team, make it out of the division series? They have a tough cookie on hand with the Padres. And this Padres team is better than the Diamondbacks team that swept them last year. This Padres team, I think, is every bit as good as the Padre team that beat him 2 years ago with Juan Soto. And they replaced Soto's offense in that lineup with the Roz and those guys. So my pick for the series, I'm going to do it. Until the Dodgers show me that they can get it done under pressure against a formidable opponent. I don't think I could pick them. Especially a team like this. I'm taking the Padres. This is going to be my underdog. Plus 120. Padres in 5 is plus 450. That's my pick. The favorite outcome is Dodgers in 5 at plus 320. But I'm going Padres in 5 at plus 450. I think they go into LA and win Game 5. That's my guess. So, the American League side. We will start with Yankees-Royals. The Yankees are minus 205. I think that's a little high, disrespectful to KC, just a little bit. The Royals are plus 172. Best player in the series, this is another Aaron Judge. He's just lights out. And granted, he's not a great postseason player, but I generally think that Juan Soto is a great postseason player. So I think that kind of cancels it out a little bit. And I think Juan Soto could be the difference between this Yankees team and Yankees teams in the past. Like, I really do. Best pitcher in the series, Garrett Cole. I mean, Cole Reagans is probably my number 2 choice for that, but Garrett Cole has to be it. He's won the Cy Young last year. I know this year he hasn't been amazing, but that's because he's coming off the injury, but he's still the best pitcher in the series. Still your reigning Cy Young winner. Managerial edge, I again, until I see Aaron Boone do it, or at least go far, I got to say that the managerial edge goes to Matt Cortaro. Sorry. And I think I picked him over Brandon Hyde and managerial edge in the last round as well. This guy's just been outstanding. He should be the AL Manager of the Year. Or him or Stephen Vogt would be my pick. Or even AJ Hinch. One of those 3 guys. And they're all, I think, superior managers, arguably, than Aaron Boone. Or maybe not Stephen Vogt, because he's new. But the best manager left in the American League side is AJ Hinch. But storyline of the series. But yeah, Matt Cortaro, I'd pick over Aaron Boone for managerial edge. Storyline of the series. I'm going to say Bobby Witt Jr. Can he continue to put the Royals on his back and carry them on a magical ride further in the postseason. It's a 5-game series rather than a 2-game series, which I think makes it a little harder. Picking the series. I'm taking the Yankees, and I'm going to take them in 4. I thought about a Yankee sweep, but I think that's a little disrespectful to Bobby Witt Jr. and the Royals. So I'm going to say the Yankees win the first 2 at home, or they split at Yankee Stadium, and either they win the last 2 in KC or they split in KC. I don't think there'll be a Game 5. I'm going to say Yankees in 4. Plus 250, that's the favored outcome as well. I want to see Yankees, Royals, Yankees in series exact order. So Yankees, Royals, and then the Yankees win the last 3 is 11-1. So Yankees, Royals, Yankees is plus 850. So the 2 exact order games or series prices I like are both plus 850. So Yankees in 4. And the last series, Guardians, Tigers, an AL Central matchup. So we have 3 of the 4 series with teams from the same division. So that's pretty neat. And then you have the Yankees and KC. And then KC's in the same division as Detroit and the Cleveland. So Cleveland and Detroit. Best guy in the series, Jose Ramirez. That guy's been in a ton of big games in his life. Was on the 2016 Guardians team that made the World Series. That guy's a lot of history of getting some big hits and big spots in the playoffs. Best pitcher, Tariq Skubal. He pitched really well in Game 1 of that series, and he's going to probably pitch on Monday in Game 2 of that series, which should be fun. Managerial edge, I have to pick AJ Hinch over Stephen Vogt, only because AJ Hinch has a World Series on his belt. Granted, not really, not really a legitimate one, to be fair. But he still has a World Series on his resume, and I think he's done a fantastic job this year with Detroit. After being under 500 at the trade deadline and trading Zach Flaherty and to making it all the way to the ALDS, that's pretty impressive. We don't see that very often. The Yankees almost made the playoffs after being a seller at the trade deadline in 2016, but we know how that played out. So, and then the storyline of the series, to me, is the Tigers and Skubal. Can they continue? It's like the Royals. Can they continue their magical ride? And the Mets are like this too. The underdog story. Will it continue here as well? All right. The Guardians are minus 120. The Tigers are plus 102. I think this is going to be a decent series. This is the hardest series to pick, but I'm going to go with the Guardians in 4. I just think the Guardians have more talent. Granted, AJ Hinch is the better manager. You guys saw my upset. It was San Diego. So Guardians 3-1 plus 320, and that's the favored outcome of the series as well. And I also want to bet, let's see the exact story, Guardians, Tigers, Guardians, that's 10-1. I like that a lot because then it's Skubal wins Game 2 and then Cleveland wins the rest. That's how I think it's going to play out. So Cleveland 3-1 at plus 320 is going to be my pick for that series. All right, now let's look at the schedule for the weekend. All right, 1 o'clock on TBS, you have Tigers Guardians. It's probably an opener against Tanner Bibbe. Guardians minus 146, Tigers plus 124, over under 7. Overs minus 112, unders minus 108. Tigers plus 1/2 is minus 182, Guardians minus 1/2 is plus 150. I'm going to go with the under, only because Detroit's been an under team in the playoffs so far. 4 o'clock on Fox, Mets-Phillies. Of course, that game's on Fox. Zach Wheeler's going for the Phillies, and for the Mets, ooh, Severino's probably going to be Monday, and they used David Peterson out of the bullpen the other day, so I don't think it's going to be David Peterson. Or maybe it will be David Peterson in like an opener role and they go bullpen, which would be pretty interesting. The Phillies are minus 188. The Mets are plus 158. Over under 7.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Mets plus 1.5 is minus 34. Phillies minus 1.5 plus 112. I'm laying it with the Phillies on the run line only because I think this is a little bit of a hangover spot for the Mets. And then when the Mets is on Monday. So I'm going to lay it with the Phillies and then, or I'm sorry, on Sunday. Sunday's where I think the Mets win. 6:30 on TBS, Royals-Yankees. So the Yankees and the Mets are playing at the same time. Ooh. So it's Garrett Cole and Michael Wacha. Yanks are minus 205. The Royals are plus 172. Over under 7.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Or unders even money. Overs minus 122. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 128. Yanks minus 1.5 plus 106. I'm going to take the under and bank on Garrett Cole being Garrett Cole. And Michael Wacha has some good playoff history from the past. So I could see this game going on there. I think this is going to be like a 4-2 Yankee win or something like that. And last but not least, 8:30 on Fox Sports 1, Padres-Dodgers. Yoshi Yamamoto and Dylan Cease. Dodgers minus 138, Padres plus 118, over under 7.5, overs minus 122, unders even money. Padres plus 1.5 is minus 178, Dodgers minus 1.5 plus 146. I'm taking the Padres plus 118. Yamamoto's first playoff game, we don't know how he's going to look. The same Padres team, I think it was them that teed up Yamamoto in the opener in overseas. So why not? I'm taking the Padres at plus 118. And then the Sunday schedule, 4 o'clock on Fox Sports 1's Mets-Phillies, and then 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1 is Padres-Dodgers. Right now, move on to the WNBA playoffs. We will look at the games coming to you tonight and the weekend. 7:30 ESPN2, Lynx Sun. The Sun are giving 2.5 totals, 151. Game 3, 1-1 series. I'm going to say the over. That's a low total. And then 9:30 ESPN2, Liberty Aces. The Aces are giving 3 total, 165.5. I hate to do this, but I'm laying it with the Aces. Only because this is a bounce back spot and they're facing elimination at home. So I'm going to lay the 3 with the Aces. And then Sunday, we don't know the times of the games. I think it depends on how Liberty Aces go. I think the Aces force. I think that series goes 5, and I think the I did pick Lynx in 4. So I actually think that series is gonna be over. Lynx win both in Connecticut. That's a bold statement. And then the Aces force a game 5 on Tuesday night at the Barclays Center. All right, now move on to golf. We'll look at the current leaderboard for the Sanderson Farms. Your winner or leader right now is 12 under, David Skins. In second right now, Hayden Springer, 10 under. Tied for third, 9 under. Gary Woodland, Jacob Bridgman, and Michael Jorgensen. Tied for sixth at 8 under. Danny Berger, Sean Kim, Ryan Fox, Eric Cole, Ben Griffin. Tied for 11th at 7 under. Patton Kazir, Mackenzie Hughes, Bill Haas, Chandler Phillips, Wesley Bryan, Ben Cole, Seamus Power, Lucas Hodges, Lucas Glover, Paul Barge, and Bill Hostler. Tied for 22nd with 6 under. Henrik Norlander, Kyung-Gu Lee, Brant Snecker, Matt McCarty, Kevin Yu, Jonathan Vegas, Matthew Neesmith, Doug Gim. Tied for 31st with 5 under. Scott Stevens, Keith Mitchell, Martin Laird, Ben Taylor, Mac Meisner, Mark Hubbard, Justin Sue, Paul Fishburne, Kevin Sway, Michael Kim. Tied for 41st with 4 under. I'm going to do notables now because of time. Stefan Yeager, Peter Malnati, Trevor Crowe, Charlie Hoffman, Jason Hadley, Kevin Strowman, Patrick Rogers, Grayson Sieg. Tied for 54th with 3 under. Alex Smalley, Joseph Burnett, Matt McNeely, Justin Lauer, Nicholas Echeverria, Chesner V, Vincent Whaley, Callum Tarrant, Zach Johnson, Ricky Fowler, Emiliano Grillo, Roger Sloan, Matt Trainer. Tied for 75th with 2 under. Matthias Schmid, Cam Champ, Luke List, Taylor Moore, Andrew Novak, Sammy Valimaki, Trevor Whitney, Tyson Alexander, Harry Inglis, Chris Goddard, Bryce Garnett, Carson Young, Kevin Doherty. Tied for 100th at even, Eric Barnes, Davis Lipsky, Adam Shank, Troy Merritt. Tied for 106 at even, C.T. Pond, J.B. Holmes, Pearson Cootie. Tied for 114th with 1 over, Alex Badley, Camilo Vegas. Tied for 116th with 2 over, Grayson Higo, Raja Campos, Patrick Knowles. Tied for 126th with 3 over, Davis Riley, Beck Burnett. And withdrawing J.J. Spawn, Parker Cootie, and Chad Ramey. All right. Now move on to NASCAR. We'll go over where everybody's at this weekend, and we'll do picks. Everyone's at Talladega. 5 o'clock tonight, probably on Fox Sports 1. So I'm going to pull up really quick the odds. All right, the Love's RV Stop 255. I'm going to go with Grant Effinger at 13-1. Xfinity is the United Rentals 250 from Talladega. I'm going to go with Chandler Smith at 18-1. And then the Cup Series from Talladega, the Yellowwood 500. I'm going to go with probably my favorite driver to bet on in this or Daytona. That's Chase Elliott at 13-1 to win the Yellowwood 500. Okay, now move on to the news and notes for today. I apologize I didn't get to the right wing rankings. It's just unfortunate that, we just had to start this into the season. So the Warriors passed on Bronny James as they decided against drafting him to respect to LeBron's wishes. Rajon Rondo has an NBA coaching career as he joins Doc Rivers' Bucks staff as a guest coach. All right, Devin Williams takes the blame after giving up 4 runs in the 9th inning against the Mets. The Marlins are letting go of over 70 staffers. They're cleaning house. How about this? The Patriots are nearing mutiny as their locker room is in disarray amid 3-game losing streak. Yikes. So we talked about how the Falcons had that great win. But the big news of last night, and also the Mets with that great win, it was a great sports night last night, that's for sure. The Reds are hiring Terry Francona as their next manager. That's a shocker. An absolute shocker. He's out of retirement, and he's back in the game. But I absolutely adore this hire for the Reds. He's a better manager than David Bell. So much playoff experience. And this brings a little bit of juice because obviously Francona managed in Ohio for so long with the Guardians. And now here we are with, him going to the Reds. So that brings some juice to the rivalry between those two teams, the Guardians and the Reds. So Trey Murphy is out for over 3 weeks with a right hamstring strain. That's not great for the Pelicans. Patrick Mahomes on Rashee Rice injury. He said he felt like shit after seeing replay of himself injuring his teammate. Nick Chubb says he feels good and still unsure about his season debut. Taysom Hill has fractured ribs. As Dennis Allen will confirm if he will end up on the IR. So, Rashee Rice, by the way, out for a minimum of 4 games. Browns defensive end Alex Wright out for the season, undergoing season-ending triceps surgery. Jonathan Taylor downplays his ankle injury and still TBD against the Jaguars. The Florida Gators are out on the Boozer twins as Cameron and Caden will announce their commitment on October 10th. So how about this? Flags competition at number 1. More than one NBA scout has Rutgers as Dylan Harper going first overall. Wow. And I mean, wow. That's crazy. We'll see how that plays out all season. Caitlin Clark won the WNBA Rookie of the Year, but not unanimous. Angel Reese received one first-place vote. Dante DiVincenzo thanked the Knicks faithful. He said nothing but love. And Devontae Adams has not demanded the Jets, as he's open to playing with the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Bills, the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Saints. I think the Bills would be the best fit, personally. So, there you have it for the news and notes. Best bet brought to you by FanDuel. I'm going to do 300s on every pick I give out, including best bet. And I'm going to take the Syracuse Orange, getting the 6.5 against the UNLV in Vegas. I just think that the UNLV turmoil is going to rear its ugly head at some point. So I'm going to take Syracuse. This is not a Fab 5 pick, by the way. This is just best bet. So I'm taking Syracuse plus 6.5 against UNLV. All right, here we go. Fab 5 time. We're going to start in college for Fab 5. All right, pick number 1. I'm going to take Purdue getting 13.5 against Wisconsin. I just think that the Badgers are going to miss their quarterback. Conference game, I just, think that's too high. Wisconsin shouldn't be giving double digits against anybody. So I'm taking Purdue getting 13 in the hook. Pick number 2 of the Fab 5. I am going to go back to the well and take a team I took a couple weeks ago, except they're a home dog this time. I'm taking Northwestern getting 13.5 against Indiana. At some point, the shoe's going to drop with Indiana, right? So I'm going to take Northwestern getting 13 in the hook against Indiana. So 2 Big Ten games in Fab 5. Pick number 3, I'm taking the over in the Alabama-Vandy game. I just think that's a high-scoring game. I know it could be a letdown for Bama, but I think that they'll still win. I just think this is an over game. Like, I could see this game being 35-20 kind of thing. 38-17, something like that, Pick number 4 of the Fab 5, I'm laying 5.5 at Coastal Carolina against Old Dominion. I just think that's a low number. I don't think Old Dominion's any good, so I'm going to lay Coastal Carolina 5.5 against Old Dominion. And the last pick of the Fab 5, I'm doing it again. I'm picking against Florida. I'm laying 2.5 with UCF. I just think that UCF's in a bounce-back spot. Granted, on the road, hostile environment in Florida, but I just don't trust this Gators team, as you guys know. So I'm going to lay 2.5 with UCF against Florida. My underdog moneyline pick of the show, I'm taking the Duke Blue Devils at plus 265 to knock off Georgia Tech. All right, the NFL Fab 5. Because of all these injuries and such, this is easy in some ways and hard in others. Pick number 1 of the Fab 5. And I'm going to be laying heavy juice with some of these picks. I'm laying the 3.5 with the Chicago Bears over the Panthers. I think this is a good spot for Caleb and company. So I'm going to lay 3.5 with the Chicago Bears over the Panthers. That's pick number 1. Pick number 2, I hinted at it earlier. I'm laying the 1.5 in New England against the Dolphins. This is solely based a pick against the Dolphins rather than a bet on New England. I know the locker room stuff makes me nervous, but the Dolphins are just riddled right now. They're having the year from hell. Jalen Phillips out for the year. I think we see Drake May potentially in this game, and he leads them to victory. So I'm going to lay 1.5 in New England against Miami, and I'm going to say that's probably the only time I'm going to pick New England in the Fab 5 all year. Pick number 3, I'm going back to the well. I'm taking the Commanders again. Minus the 3 against the Browns. I just think this Browns team's hideous, and Deshaun Watson's hideous. Kevin Stefanski's he's going to get fired, rumors. So I'm going to lay the 3 at the Commanders. Pick number 4, I'm taking Arizona plus 7.5 against the 49ers. 49ers have a lot of injuries still. And I think that Arizona is going to hang around in this spot. And I know I bet against Arizona a couple times this year. One time it worked out. And I think did I take the Rams against them? I don't remember. But so I'm going to take the Cards getting the 7.5. I think this is the first time I'm taking the Cards in the Fab 5 all year. Plus the points. And then the last pick of the Fab 5 is probably one of my favorites all year. And it went up to 2.5, and that's okay. I don't freaking care. I'm laying the 2.5 with the Steelers against Dallas. Too many injuries on the Cowboys right now. No Micah Parsons. No Deron Bland. No DeMarcus Lawrence. And I think that will open it up for Justin Fields and that offense. So I'm going to lay the 2.5 with the Pittsburgh Steelers at home against the Cowboys. So no totals in the Fab 5 this week. And then my underdog outright pick of the week. I am going to take a team I took in week 1 as my underdog outright pick, but it didn't work out. And this is a bet against their opponent more than a bet on them. They won last week, but it could be Joe Flacco at quarterback, but I don't care. I'm taking the Colts. Plus 126 to beat the Jaguars outright. This Jacksonville team's terrible. So there you go. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back on Monday recapping everything. We'll get to everything come Monday as well. Then we have Monday Night Football between the Saints and the Chiefs as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everybody, and have a great weekend. And, of course, we have the baseball playoffs on Monday as well. See you guys.